Journaling prompt for the morning. And I will be doing this prompt myself, most definitely. Boundaries. Do you create them? And when you do create them, do you enforce them? I'm going to say yes and no to both of those. Now, the questions that I've created this morning, they're pretty deep. They're pretty deep. Um, and the thing is, the way to identify. Now, this is my opinion. Let me just preface here. I'm not a healthcare professional. I am just a once broken person using God's resources to help me to fill my holes and broken pieces. So these are life experiences that I'm using to do these videos, these devotionals, these prompts and stuff. But in my opinion, the best way to identify where your boundaries need to be created is where you see a space in your life where you want to feel respected, where you want to feel safe. So, for example, a boundary that I need to create is anything dealing with sex or the topic like a male suitor or someone interested in me or someone just randomly inboxing me. My boundary is sex. Don't come at me talking about sex. I don't feel safe when you do that. And it's a red flag when you just meeting me and you're asking me about sex, or when you find out that I'm practicing abstinent and you ask me a question like, well, what do you do when you get in the mood? Bro, that's none of your business. I'm instantly triggered when they do that. I instantly feel yucky and nasty when they do that. So I know that's where I need to create boundaries. When you feel like your triggers being those things that take you back to a place that make you feel uncomfortable, that make you feel sad, that make you feel any discomfort within your being, that's where you need to do some boundary work, create boundaries, and hold to your boundaries. The other thing that I have a problem with is I'll create the boundaries and I let people pass over or like cross over. And sometimes people don't know my boundaries, but the important thing is you know that boundary within yourself. So when someone hits that spot where it's like, ooh, that's a trigger. Ooh, I feel uncomfortable. You check that person respectfully. So when a guy approaches me, and I did a video a few weeks ago, but when a guy approaches me and we just started chatting or communicating on whatever platform and you call me baby, no, bro, call me Patricia. And I think that's my new way of being like, instead of saying, don't call me baby, I'm not your, just simply say, hey, you can call me Patricia. Thanks. That's a boundary for me because it does something. For some reason, it does something to me. I feel like that particular person, man, whatever, not whatever, it's man, guy, I feel like they are taking liberties with me, making me feel like, oh, it's okay that you can call me baby and you haven't put in time to make me your boo, bae, or baby. You see what I'm saying? You too comfortable with me. Respect me. Respect my ladyhood. That's not a word, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. It's like it makes me feel weird. Like I don't like that. So that's a boundary for me. So another one of the questions that I'm putting in the writing prompt this morning is, how do you feel when you allow people to cross that boundary? Whether they know it and you haven't told them yet and you don't check them on it, or whether you told them what the boundary is and they keep crossing it. Depending on what my boundary is, And a lot of my boundaries deal with sexual things because of my past, because of my childhood. Like, certain things make me feel yucky. That's really the only word I can use, but whatever, go with it. Um so when I don't check them, I feel I feel really uncomfortable. I feel a guilt. I feel like I didn't stand up for my little girl self. I feel like I didn't stand up for myself. I feel like, you know what it is? I think what it is, when I allow people to do things, even if they don't know that there's a boundary there, and I don't say, hey, can you not do that? I feel like what's happening is, and this is like a moment for me because this was not even what I was going to talk about, but I feel like when I allow them to cross my boundaries, I'm allowing them to use me. Yeah. I think that's why I feel uncomfortable when I don't check that boundary. And that's something that I'm working with, that I'm dealing with. It's like, because when I was younger and I wanted to say no, and they would say, we're gonna tell on you if you don't do it. It was like that was me being used. So as an adult, when I don't check those boundaries, it's like in my mind, it's the same, where it's like I'm letting them do it. Does that make sense? So yeah, very important prompt for the morning. Boundaries. Set your boundaries. Keep your boundaries. And look at how you feel when you hold firm to your boundaries. Look at how you feel when you don't hold firm. And then another question I think I had on there was, well, how do you feel when you do hold your boundaries? I feel great. I feel empowered when I hold to my boundaries and I don't let people cross them, whether they know they existed or not. When they do that thing or say that thing that makes you feel uncomfortable and you check them. And when I say check them, I don't mean like, yeah, don't do that again. I don't mean like, like in a very aggressive way. I mean check as in, allow them to learn what your boundaries are, especially if you're going to let them be around. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'm not going to run this topic into the ground. I just really needed to get this out. Because when I go back to sleep, it's not going to be there anymore. It's not going to be as fresh. So yeah, be on the lookout. Matter of fact, I am going to post the prompt in this like video description area. And then I'll make a separate post for those who don't have a chance to come across this video first. Y'all be blessed and have a happy Saturday.